Hi, welcome to our second video in our series of videos on how to use the 3D printer. In this video, I want to show you some specifics about this 3D printer so that you can use it effectively and safely. In the first video, I told you that 3D printers use 3D printing filament, so let's take a look at the filament here. I've already installed the spool of PLA filament here. The Makerbot replicator only uses PLA filament. It's just a specific type of filament that's easily worked with in 3D printers. It melts easily, it cools fast, and it's good for just about every use that you can imagine with your 3D printer. So it's already preloaded here, and again, unless otherwise noted on the printer with a sticky note or something, any 3D printer filament already in the printer is for you to use. So let's go ahead and lower it down to the printer. Now the filament is stored in the back of the printer, but it actually travels through this guide tube into the top of the printer. In the top of the printer are two very important pieces. The first is the gantry. The gantry has some motors that moves the extruder back and forth and side to side in order to deposit the plastic in the right manner. And the plastic feeds directly into what's called the extruder, perhaps the most important part of our 3D printer. The extruder heats up in excess of 200 degrees Celsius. It is very hot. You should never touch the underside of the printer. That's where the melted plastic comes out and is deposited in the print area. The next part of our printer is, in fact, the print area, and more importantly, the print bed. This print bed is where your plastic model will be created. I printed this test model here. This is just a Disney castle. Came out pretty well. So the print bed is, again, where your model is created. It has a very nice smooth surface for the plastic to be deposited on, and it's also easy to get the model off when you're all finished with your print model. The print bed can also come out by sliding it towards you and just lifting it out. It can also be twisted side to side in order to pry your model off the print bed finally when it's finished. And if the print bed surface is clean, then you can just return it right back to the printer so that you can print another model or that somebody else can use it. Right up here in the front is the menu. Easy to navigate with this wheel. It's a click wheel, so you can spin the wheel and click to select anything here on the menu, from settings to actually starting a print, preheating, things like that. Also here on the front is the USB port. If you already have a 3D model ready to go into the 3D printer, you can just insert your USB card here, and the printer will recognize that file and immediately start your print. If you don't already have a 3D print file, then you'll need to use a computer to load the print file directly into the computer, or directly into the printer, so that it knows what to print. That's basically it for the specifics for this printer. This is a fairly large format printer. It can print models up to 12 inches wide, 7 inches deep, and 10 inches high. There are some other switches on the back of the machine, like the on switch, for example, but I imagine you can find that pretty easily. If the Makerbot isn't already on and booted up by the time you get here, then you can just flip the on switch, and it takes about 10 minutes to fully boot up and be ready for you to print your model. So let's talk about printing models in our next video. I'll show you how to load a 3D file into the Makerbot software so that the printer knows what to do, and then we'll finally get to printing a model.